Are you ready for a family favorite recipe? Well, come on along. Let me show you this week's family favorite recipe. So let's get cooking. Hello, family and friends. I'm Susan, and welcome to my home. Are you ready for a good Sunday supper? Well, today I'm going to be making a garlic Parmesan stuffed pork chop and a Cherry Oreo Icebox cake. Both are amazing. You've got to try them. So let me put this ponytail up and come on along with me. Let's get some Sunday cooking going on. And let's get started on the garlic Parmesan stuffed pork chops. We're going to need some thick cut pork chops, which you know I got on sale, some onion, I've got some garlic powder, some panko breadcrumbs. I have 2 ounces of cream cheese because I'm only doing 2. I've got some Parmesan cheese and some bacon to put on that. And I'm also going to make some green beans to go with this for Sunday lunch. So let's go ahead and get started on mixing what we've got to do and get this cooking in the oven. I've got 2 ounces of cream cheese that I have basically tried to smooth out and stir around a little bit. I may need to microwave them, but let me see. I'm going to put in 2 slices of bacon that I just did in the microwave. Go ahead and cut those up and break those in. And they're nice and warm. Hopefully that'll warm up the cream cheese and make it a little bit more pliable. Okay, now it's warming up. Getting a little bit easier to move around. I'm going to put a 1/4 of a cup of Parmesan cheese in there. And mix all that together. It calls for green onions. Y'all know I just do regular onions. So I'm going to put a few regular onions in there. It calls for about 1 green onion that's cut up. So I'm just going to put a little bit of regular onion and stir that into the mixture. And 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. I've got the oven preheating at 350. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut my pork chops. I'm going to go ahead and turn the pork chop this way. You can do it a couple different ways. Some people do it this way. You can do it this way. You just need to make a pocket in the center and then not go all the way through to the bottom. And try not to cut through a side. And what I'll do is I'll cut a pocket and then use my fingers to kind of tell where I'm at in the meat. And you can also use your fingers to help you dissect that pocket a little bit too. That way you've got a nice little area around it. Go ahead and season the pork chops with just salt and pepper on each side. Yep, do it again. And now I'm basically going to stuff the pork chops. What I'm going to do is get about a good spoonful of the mixture and pop it in there and try to spread it. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing that good. I've got it in there and I'm spreading it around to all the little areas inside the pork chop. Trying to make it to where it won't spill out. And it's looking pretty good. And I've got a dredging station set up. I've got my pork chops ready to go. First they'll go in the flour mixture, then they'll go in the egg mixture, which I need to stir up, and then they'll go in the panko mixture. So let's get going on doing some dredging. First you put the pork chop into the flour mixture. I'm just going to basically just drop it in. And this is self-rising flour. It just happened to be what I got closest to. It didn't say which kind. Then I'm going to drop this into the egg mixture and let it coat both sides. Get good and coated. Then I'm going to drop it into the panko mixture. And then I always press whenever I do panko. That way it helps it adhere. And now this is going to go to the pan. I've got this on about a medium right now to heat up because I want to get each side a little bit browned up. And that was perfect. See how perfect that looks? Looks really good. And then I'm also going to put this in the pan. Now, like I said, I've got the pan on medium. I'm going to let this brown up, and let me bring you back in just a second. The oven is heated up at 350 and the pork chops are just about ready to go in the oven. They've gotten a little bit brown on one side and they're about to brown on the other one. It ain't gonna take long. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in the oven for about 20 minutes. Now while that's cooking in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and get some green beans going. I've got 1 strip of bacon in here. So I'm going to go ahead and let it render up its fat. This won't take but a minute because this pot is a little bit hot. The bacon is rendered quite a bit up, and I'm going to go ahead and add in 1 cup of chicken broth. And instead of brown sugar this time, I'm going to add in the white sugar like I normally do. Maybe a teaspoon of white sugar and 1 can of just regular cut green beans. Now this is the way I make green beans myself. Alright, and I'm going to turn this on medium, put the lid on it, and let it cook while the pork chops are cooking in the oven. Alright, and it is cooked. I think it looks really good. Let's go ahead and get this plated up along with the green beans, and it will be dinner time. There's the pork chop. I'm going to go ahead and add the green beans to it. Look how nice those cooked down. Perfect. And like I said, this is the way I normally make my green beans. I've been doing the Mandy's for the last couple of weeks. I like mine. I don't know why, just because that's the way I grew up with them. And here we go. Garlic Parmesan crusted pork chops and green beans. And that's what's for dinner. Okay guys, this is actually the first time we've tried this recipe. It looked amazing, and I want to see how it tastes. Let's see if I can get it cut and it doesn't go everywhere in the process. The thing about pork chops is you don't want to overcook them, because if you overcook them, they can be tough and rubbery. Okay, let me see how it tastes. Okay, that's really good. That filling is really good. All right. I'm gonna get me another bite. And I cooked this for about 30 minutes all total. I could have probably cooked it for less. It's a little bit doner than I like it. But, you know, it's done. That's the main thing. This is what's for dinner Sunday night. And let's get started on the Cherry Oreo Icebox cake. I've got 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1/2 cup of milk. I've got 1 can of cherry pie filling. I've got some almond extract, 8 ounces of cream cheese, 16 ounces of Cool Whip topping that has defrosted, a bag of Oreos. It called for the dark cherry Oreos, could not find them, so I just got the regular, not the double thick ones, but just the regular ones, and an 8x8 pan. I've got my hand mixer and I've got my mixing bowl. So let's get going. And I'm going to put in the mixing bowl the 8 ounces of cream cheese that has been softened. I've had it out for over an hour. It still isn't as soft as I would have liked it to have been, but it will do. And 1/4 cup of sugar and 1/2 teaspoon of the almond extract. And I'm going to beat it until it's nice and creamy. And then when it's nice and creamy like this, then you mix in 1 cup of the cherry pie filling. I mixed it a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and scrape it down the sides and then blend it one more time. Now I'm going to put in 3 cups of the Cool Whip. 1, 2, and 3. And now I'm going to gently fold in the 3 cups of Cool Whip. Now just go around the sides and go down the middle. That way I can grab what's on the bottom and get it gently folded in until everything turns that light pink color that I'm wanting. And that looks really good. That's that nice light pink color pretty much all the way through. There's still a little bit of white in there in places, but that's okay, because I don't want to deflate the Cool Whip. So it's looking really good. Now I'm going to spread about 2 tablespoons of what's left of the white Cool Whip onto the bottom of the dish, which basically I'm just going to get a little layer going on the bottom. Might be a little more than 2, but that's okay. That looks really good. And now I'm going to take 1 Oreo at a time, dip it in the milk, and then put it on the bottom of the dish. And it says it'll basically take a whole line of these Oreos to do the bottom layer. And I've now got the first layer of the Oreo cookies done. I am going to spread half of the pink mixture on top of the Oreo cookies. I'm going to go ahead and spread this out. Like I said, you can still see a little white in it, but that's okay because it's kind of Valentine-y. I'm just going to spread it all out to the edges. Now, there is half of the mixture. Now I'm going to do another layer of the cookies, basically dumping them in milk and putting them on the pink layer. And now I've got the second layer done, and I'm going to go ahead and put the remaining cream cheese mixture on top. I'm going to go ahead and spread that out, just like I did the first layer. And now I'm going to put some more of the plain Cool Whip on top to finish it off. Okay, I don't know if you can see the layers on the bottom, but they look really cool. I'm going to go ahead and put some Cool Whip on top, not Cool Whip, but saran wrap on top. And then put it in the fridge. It says about 6 hours. It's probably not going to be in there quite that long, but we'll see what it turns out to be. Let's get this out of the container. Look at that. Look at that. I'm going to get about 2 things for Danny. Look at the layers. I don't know if you can see it, but look at that. Now it says you can add some cherry topping to it. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright. And there you go. The Cherry Oreo Icebox cake. There it is. It looks really good. Let's get into it. Okay, and I got me a little bit. Let me take a bite and see what I think. Now I did not let it set for 6 hours like it said. So I know the Oreos are not going to be as moist as they need to be. But that's good. Look at that. That is so good. Very Valentine looking too. Oreo Icebox cake. Easy, simple, and tasty. Wasn't those recipes awesome? I hope you've enjoyed this week's Sunday supper. And I hope you try both those recipes. They were really good. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. We would love it for you to become part of our channel's family. Until next Friday, have a great week. Don't forget to click that link below and subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. And let our family be a part of your family.